Nearly 8 weeks have passed since President Biden lifted one of his predecessor's most controversial immigration policies, the Muslim ban. Yet, despite that early action, many separated families still are blocked from entering the United States. NewsHour's special correspondent James Fox has the story.
Inside the arrivals terminal at Louisville International Airport, a moment once considered impossible is finally taking place. A family split in two, the mother and children building a new life in Kentucky, the father trying to escape an old life in Iran, is finally reuniting after being separated for nearly 5 years.
We prove each other that we are belonging to each other forever, because even the separation couldn't separate us.
Farshad Amirkhani was supposed to fly to the U.S. in 2017, only months after his wife and children made the journey themselves. But that all changed when then President Donald Trump signed an executive order now known by many as the Muslim ban, a ban which went into force the very same day that Amirkhani was scheduled to enter the U.S. As a father, Amirkhani has missed out on nearly half of his children's lives, so he is humbled to be one of the first Iranian immigrants to resettle in the U.S. in years.
Home sweet home?
This is your home!
Their reunification is, in large part, thanks to a series of executive orders signed by President Joe Biden on his first day in office, one of which fulfilled a signature campaign promise.
If I have the honor of being president, I will end the Muslim ban on day one. And we're going to restore American leadership around the world, starting by putting our democratic values and our diplomacy at the center of our foreign policy again.
Biden also instructed his State Department to resume visa processing, particularly for those who had already been interviewed by a consular officer, like Amirkhani. Still, even with many of the Trump-era travel bans out of the way, some critics believe that Biden has not moved quickly enough to reverse all of his predecessor's policies. Specifically, 2 travel ban extensions, which had halted all legal immigration during the pandemic, were not lifted by the president until the end of February, 5 weeks after his inauguration. Now, for most visa applicants, that 5-week delay was just another hurdle in what was already a very long line of obstacles. But for thousands of others who had been granted temporary visas to enter the U.S. in 2020 and 2021, a delay like this is potentially disastrous. Because while many may have been approved to come to the U.S. before those additional bans were put into place, the expiration dates on their visas have not changed, meaning their travel window, which was originally about 10 months, has been reduced to a matter of weeks. What's more, a backlog in applications combined with the pandemic means some of those promised visas are now beginning to expire before they can even be delivered by the State Department.
What we're facing is all of their immigration paths end. And when I say end, I mean end.
Curtis Morrison is an immigration attorney who has been suing the Biden administration to lift the immigration bans extended by President Trump in his final weeks in office. His lawsuits, 4 in total, are still being argued in virtual court on behalf of more than 2,000 plaintiffs who are running out of time to get into the country before their long-awaited visas expire. That is, unless Congress or the courts intervene.
So these people were extremely lucky to get the opportunity to be selected once. The idea that they could be selected another time is a very remote possibility. So basically they have been selected, they've gone through the process, they've done everything right, they've made all these arrangements, they went to hotels, sometimes third countries where they were ready to enter the U.S. as soon as the proclamation was over. And then Trump extended it and Biden let it stay.
Ever since his first daughter was born in 2019, Poira Mojabi, an Iranian-born tech entrepreneur in Oakland, has been working with Curtis Morrison to bring his parents to the United States to help him and his wife raise their children. Even though he is an American citizen, his parents' hopes of watching their grandchildren grow have been made impossible by the Muslim ban.
We just wanted to see my parents. And we fought every single day. I mean, nothing worked this past 3-4 years. I personally did a lot of protesting. I'm part of 2-3 different lawsuits. Spend a lot of money for legal fees and lawyers. I fought with every possible thing we could. I mean, nothing worked.
Nor is anything expected to work, at least soon, because as of today, U.S. consular officers have not even scheduled an interview with his parents, an essential step towards being issued a visa. Responding to questions on how they were addressing the backlog, the State Department told the NewsHour, "We are working daily to find ways to increase the number of immigrant visa appointments despite COVID-19. Like many other separated families, that's an assurance which, according to the Mojabis, is not enough to recover the time that has been lost.
We wish to be able to see them every day, to see them when they're born, to see them when they grow up, and we have been deprived of this. We can talk to them by internet, but we are not sure whether they know us at all, whether they love us at all, and that is suffering.
Suffering, Curtis Morrison believes, which is unlikely to end with a new president.
I do think that the Biden administration will use the pandemic as an excuse not to follow through with promises, specifically about immigration especially. Because even if he does undo Trump's policies, it's not going to solve the problems that Trump created. That's going to take some very creative solutions and a big commitment, ambitious commitment, and I don't think that the will is there.
Despite the families who long for it to be. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm James Fox.